What's going on, guys? Kenny here from 619 Guitars and Gear, and today we are going to finally check out the Legator Spectre 8. Legator, however you want to say it, but it's finally time to get into it. Alright guys, so real quick, let's go over some specs with this thing, and then we'll do a standalone demo so you can hear how it sounds without a full mix, and then we'll talk about my thoughts. So specs wise, we have it is made in Korea. I'm going to read the specs how they were listed on the website. So it is a Spectre multi-scale 8-string. It is a bolt-on roasted maple neck, super roasted, which I love. It's one of my favorite things on the guitar. It's a 26.5 to a 28-inch scale, which is really cool. So it is a multi-scale, like I said. It's a 16-inch radius. The fretboard is ebony. Has abalone offset inlaid dots with the Legator L logo for the 12th fret. Has blue luminlay side dots, which is a really good touch. 24 medium jumbo nickel frets. The body is ash and is obviously the flamingo pink version, and it is topped off with a nice satin finish. They consider these the Hive non-active pickups, and then you have one volume and one three-way switch. Obviously, I don't know why you'd have more than one. And then no tone, so that's really cool. Obviously, your input is on your output jack is on the back here, up on the top, so it's pretty convenient. And then they threw in this nice battery box just in case you want to throw active pickups in there. You already have the box. So I thought that's thinking ahead, and I think that's really, really cool that they did that, because obviously with the room that's in this cavity, you're probably not fitting a battery in there. So you'd probably have to bring it somewhere to get it routed out for a battery box. So for them to put that in there ahead of time is really awesome, and I think that's really cool that they did that. So it is obviously a 5-bolt for the bolt-on neck. And then they have the Legator Ghost locking nut and bridge. And then the nut itself that the strings go through, I'm not sure if it's a Graph Tech or what it is, but I don't think it's plastic, so that's always a plus. And yeah, that's pretty much all the specs. It came with the gig bag. And shipping was really, really fast. I had it within a week. I'm in New York, they're in Cali, so that was really cool. And yeah, definitely no problems with any of that. The fret ends feel really, really good. You can't even really feel them. But yeah, dual truss rod for an 8-string. I think that's really cool. Probably a learning curve to adjust. I haven't had to touch it because it came set up really well. Ryan asked how I'd like it set up, and I told him, I said, you know what, just set it up how you basically would set up an 8-string, just because I've never had an 8-string before. So I told him, you mind to just set it up how you would set it up from the factory. And yeah, it came with really super low action, and the truss rods were adjusted properly, and yeah, no complaints there at all. I'll get into my thoughts after I do the little standalone demo. We'll do distortion, we'll do clean, and then I'll tell you guys what I overall think about this guitar. All right, guys, so now that we wrapped everything else up, you heard it in the demo, you heard it standalone, distortion, and clean. Let's talk about a few things. So this is my first 8-string guitar, and it is actually my first time even playing this brand. I've never owned a Legator, I've never played one. I've seen them in person, but I just never touched one. Yeah, I know from what you hear, this company probably has a few negative things that people say about it. But honestly, it seems like lately things have gotten a lot better. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they might have done a factory switch not that long ago. Maybe that's what I heard. Don't quote me on it. You can look it up for yourself. But it just seems like their quality of their guitars have gotten a lot better. But you know how people are. As soon as they hear one bad thing about it, they write them off like that. I'm not that type of person. I'm not even really into the crazy shaped guitars, but you know, when I saw like a Kiesel Type X or a Kiesel Lightspeed, and then I think they have the Hyperdrive. When I saw those in the headless version, it just really intrigued me, and yeah, I don't want to go the custom route right now, even though for a little bit of more money that I spent on this, I probably could have, but I just don't feel like waiting for a custom shop. But yeah, I saw this thing and it really, really intrigued me. They have them in the black and the pink, like I said before. And I wanted to get the pink one. Everyone's probably going to get the black one. So I said, you know what? Let me get the pink one and we'll be a little bit different. So Overall QC on this thing is really, really good. There's nothing that I can really find that is a problem with the QC. The only thing, there's one mark on the back of the neck, which is like a sanding mark. I'll try to take a picture of it and put it up here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but I mean, obviously this neck was cleared and then sanded to give it a satin finish for, you know, to make it easier to go up and down and make it a little bit of a faster neck. So, you know, humans did that most likely, and I can't, when humans are coming to play, things probably aren't going to be 100% perfect. Yeah, for what you pay for it, it probably should be, but I'm not the type of person that's going to make a big stink out of something like that, because it's not a huge deal to me. Other than that, the QC on this thing is really, really good. I love how good the fret ends are. The pickups sound really good. More tuned towards the mid range, I should say. I know when you play in lower tunings with, you know, distortion on anything, you're usually sweeping the mids a little bit, but I had to, you know, draw back the mids a little bit more than usual with this thing. I probably will throw some Fishmans in there eventually, and it's awesome because, like I said, you have the battery box already there. So I think that's like a really great touch that they thought ahead and did that, because obviously there's no room in this cavity because it's tiny. So big plus right there. Overall, not much to complain about. One little small thing is the lumen lay is really dim. I think it's just the way glow stuff works. Like even glow sticks, for instance, green glow stick is usually the brightest one, and like the colored ones are usually a little bit dimmer. It's just always how I feel like it works. Green is always the brightest when it comes to lumen lay and just things that glow in general, glow paint, everything. So can't really be too mad at that. I wish it was a little bit brighter, or even maybe just green, but that's fine. That's not a big deal. Even though I love lumen lay so much, it's definitely something I was excited about. Another thing to complain about maybe is I love the way the bridge functions. Like the tuners work very good, and they're smooth as butter. I'm not a huge fan of how the string sits in the bridge. You kind of like put it in there in a hole, and like it locks up against under these two little prongs, and tension is pretty much what keeps it in place. And when restringing it, when you get it in there, you kind of have to keep tension on the string once you start tuning it and everything. Otherwise it's going to pop out of place. And you know, I've tried a couple different things and it still was the same result. As long as when you put the string in the saddle and then put it through the locking nut up here, as long as you do that, and just keep a constant little bit of tension on it, it's not going to pop out of place. I haven't had a string pop out of place while under tension and while playing, so I'm not worried about that. Not something that's going to deter me from wanting to keep the guitar at all, but it is something to point out. I'm pretty sure they use this bridge on most of their headless multi-scale models, but I could be wrong. But yeah, nothing really QC, no QC issues to point out. I'm really happy with the quality of this thing. Customer service has been great so far. And yeah, nothing to complain about in that aspect. And I'm definitely going to keep it for my first 8-string. I'm definitely happy with it. We're going to wrap this video up here. I apologize for being a little late this week. I don't know if you could tell, but we do have a new camera. I've been using my iPhone for the past, since I started doing YouTube, and I'm pumped to finally have a good, decent camera. So the quality of this video might be a little bit better. Maybe you'll tell, maybe you won't. But this video is a little late and I do apologize. But we're going to probably double up this week. But as always, I really appreciate you guys watching, and we will see you in the next one.